Hello StarCraft 2 fans, and welcome back to Day 6 of this tournament, SC2Casts.com's first invitational, sponsored and brought to you, of course, by SC2Casts.com, your source of info on all the most recent casts, commentators, events, and pro games. I am your host for the tournament, your commentator, ShikiSC. Please check out my YouTube channel at youtube.com/ShikiSC. If you enjoy my casts, please subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. Comment if you have positive or negative comments. Go ahead and throw them up. I'm always looking for constructive criticism. And once again, big shout out to starcraftworld.it for organizing and contacting all the pro gamers and setting up the games. Check out their website for news and events. And this is going to be the last series I have for you in the round robin play style, the group stage if you want to call it. We have got the yellow Terran spawning in the 2 o'clock position here on Scrap Station. Liquid, the little one, TLO Liquid. Yeah, part of Team Liquid. He's probably one of the fan favorites. Everyone loves him. He is playing Terran against his Zerg opponent Omar, spawning as the green Zerg at the 12 o'clock position. So Omar's a relatively new player. He's been playing fairly good. I think he took one game away from White Raw. That was fairly impressive. But White Raw did end up taking that series, so not so impressive. But either way, we'll see how he can fare off against the Terran player TLO, the little one. Fantastic player. Both players I've seen them play since this is the last matchup of the group. I've seen them all play, and Omar tends to open with somewhat of an early gas, but he doesn't usually get it till after his spawning pool, which is a little bit weird because on maps, especially like Scrap Station, you want to get your gas up right before your spawning pool, which will allow you to get Zergling speed ASAP. It'll also allow you to defend any type of harassment a lot easier with your natural expansion. Zerglings with speed stop Hellions a lot better than Zerglings without speed, that is for sure. TLO absolutely loves his Hellion play, and he is getting, this is signature Hellion play. He gets his gas up right before his barracks, and that allows him to actually have enough gas right when that barracks finishes to get his refinery, or sorry, not refinery, factory. And once that factory's done, he pumps out a couple Hellions and continues to harass with that. He just loves Hellions, and I have to admit, he's probably one of the most creative players that with the Hellions, and I think from my point of view, we are doing also for part of the tournament a most entertaining play, and I have to admit so far it goes to TLO. In the series with White Raw, he did a drop with 3 Hellions and a couple Marines, and I think he ended up taking out like 21 or 19 probes without even losing a single unit. It was just fantastic. And here it is, the signature factory coming down, just enough gas, pulls his workers off gas as soon as he hits 100 gas. Now that is ingenious because of how much he loves to play this Marine and Hellion style. It allows him to get the Hellions out, harass a little, and then move right into a fast expansion, if he chooses to do so, but we'll have to wait and see. This SCV has not been taken out yet, and it looks like speed is starting late, of course. Like I said, Omar gets his first gas up fairly late, and his second one's even later. Well, actually, that second one's fairly early, if you think about it. But that SCV does die to the Queen's swipes. Fairly cool claws, actually. I love the rotate of the camera. Fantastic. Queens look great. So Lara's coming up with that second 100 gas, and maybe he's going to be playing in a 1-base Muta build, or 1-base Mutas? I don't know. But anyway, against TLO I would really never suggest 1-basing, as that can be fairly deadly. TLO, if you're not on a better economy factor than TLO is, you're going to be in trouble. He really knows how to play with his units and maximize the units he has available for him to cause as much damage as he can, and already that first Hellion is on the field. Metabolic boost is not finished. It's only about probably 80% of the way done. Yes, 80% roughly. And that Hellion is going to go and check that, see that there is no natural expansion. TLO is probably thinking, yes, I am so excited because now I can harass this guy. If I can kill off some drones, he is almost surely going to be forced to produce only drones with his larva. And right now this Hellion is still taking burns and burns away on these speedlings. And ooh, This Hellion, really nice play, ends up getting a few extra shots before dying, and now I guess with the speed is done. As you can see, with speed, the Zerglings are actually a decent counter for Hellions unless the pre-igniter is there. There is no pre-igniter on the way. He doesn't even have room to put down a tech lab to research it, and there's 2 Hellions left in the field, just checking for any bases. TLO is probably thinking, okay, this is kind of odd. He hasn't expanded. I don't know what he's doing. When he was in here, I think he did see the lair was on the way, or did he always? Yeah, he saw it was on the way. It is finished. I am seeing a Spire now, so that was kind of expected. One base Muta play is really the only one base play you'll ever want to play as Zerg, but against top-end players like Liquid, TLO, White Raw, I don't think a one base Muta is really going to be that effective. He is spawning some creep way down here. I'm not sure if he's going to come down and put a creep tumor down or not, but the natural expansion is coming up now. Going to be a little bit late. He's not going to have the economic advantage that he needs. 10 Zerglings coming in up the ramp, but all these Hellions are going to just easily thwart that attack off. 5 Hellions will just burn these Zerglings to a crisp. As I've said before, Zergling pizza, just delicious. But the armory is up, so we're probably going to see some Thors. This is the 3rd factory TLO has coming up, being constructed. He does see there is some creep being spawned down here. He does see the natural expansion coming up, or does he? Yes, he does. And he was floating a barracks through. He does see the Spire, so he's probably going to be ready for that. The Roach Warren is also being constructed right now, still with no Infernal Pre-Igniter. I was watching KK StarCraft, and he almost got me saying pre-infernal igniter, and yeah, anyways. The Hellions are roasting these Zerglings quite well. When you have those numbers of Hellions that TLO does, it's very tough for Zerglings to get a surround on the Hellions. Although he was on creep the entire time, he should have just ran around and got the surround, but he didn't. Still needs to pump down some more, here it comes, yes, more spawn larva. And now TLO is still not using all that energy. Maybe he's saving up for a scan, or maybe his APM's just not really that high right now. Nope, there comes the 2 mules. He didn't have a rally point set for this orbital command, but now it is ready. And Omar's here got 5 mutas out, so what does TLO have to defend against that? Nothing up until this Thor, really. He had no Marines, no anti-air, no turrets, but now that Thor is out, as long as he can keep one in his main base and one in his natural, he should be fine. Nope, he won't need one of his natural. He's putting up turrets, and so far 4 turrets being constructed. And if these turrets get up before these Mutalisks get here, that's going to be a lot of minerals wasted for Omar. And it is. Those turrets are up. 2 of them are up. 3 is about to be. And it looks like he's just going to try to find a weak spot here with just... looks like 7 now, 7 mutas, but all these turrets are going to repel that quite easily, and the Thor in the main base is going to easily repel. Where did that Thor go? Oh, okay, Thor is now running to the natural. And yeah, so Collector's Edition Thor, if you guys haven't seen it, here's your chance. Pretty fantastic. I like it, actually. Kind of looks like a transformer. I wish they would transform. That would be cool. In single player, in the expansion, if they ever do, they need to make where Thors can like transform into a really, really mobile unit, but maybe while they're mobile they lose like half their hit points and become really vulnerable. I don't know. Be kind of neat, but I guess they have enough Transformers with Vikings already. So the mutas are looking to do a little more harassment, still just 7 of them, nothing else. The production tab does show that glial reconstitution is being researched for the roaches, but I don't see any really roaches on the field yet. Is that right? No roaches? So you're getting your upgrade before you're getting your roaches? Not sure I agree with that. But lo and behold, he is the one playing Liquid, the little one, and not me. So yeah, these 7 mutas trying to find a weak spot in TLO's defenses, but that is not going to happen with all of these Thors. That's the 3rd Thor out in the field. All these turrets, they are just better off to do some kind of hit and run. You know, come take a couple shots at these factories, or come around this side, take out a supply depot. You really need to utilize these Mutalisks. If you're going to produce 7 Mutalisks, that's 700 minerals, 700 gas. You really need to use them. You can't just have them floating around and just gaining map control. I know map control is okay, but if you're not abusing the map control, like taking a 3rd base, you really have just all this wasted minerals. It's like building 50 Zerglings at the beginning of the game when your opponent is teching to Void Rays, you know, like it just doesn't make sense. You don't want to waste the units if you don't need them as Zerg. You want to just macro up and get some drones out as fast as you can and get ready for the units that you're going to need. But the Mutas are engaging these Hellions, but any of these Thors here, 6 Thors, they're just going to rip apart these Mutalisks. Even these Roaches, 6 Thors are just going to obliterate these Roaches, unless the Roaches can get some Zergling support, and maybe some, I guess Infestors would help. But Fungal Growth is not going to be effective against the Thors, and really Neural Parasite's been nerfed so hard, they're kind of useless. Infested Terrans aren't going to be a good thing. I really don't think this Infestation Pit was a good choice. But unless he's just doing that to get to tier 3, that could have been it. But that is destroyed, and it looks like Omar is going to be forced to GG here, as he's got really nothing to deal with this. The army tab shows that he is supply locked and well under what TLO is. And wow, those Banelings are just not the unit to use against these Thors. Oh, look at that. Really? Oh, I guess he's using them to attack the Hellions. But even then, Banelings just don't fare off that well against Hellions, because although they are light, you know, Hellions can outrun them, and I don't know, they're just, Hellions have 90 hit points. But anyways, Omar has and GG's, and TLO takes game 1. So game 2 will be on, it looks like Metalopolis, a somewhat Zerg favored map. So some more TVZ action with Liquid, TLO, and Omar coming up to you right away.